Welcome back to the podcast, Conversations with Jeff Bucknam. Dr. Jeff Bucknam is the lead pastor of teaching and vision at Harvest Bible Chapel in Chicagoland. And I am your host, Tommy Creutz. And we're going to have a conversation with someone today because we believe that everyone has a story. But before we get into that conversation, we are going to talk about whatever it is that we want to talk about. The Preamble Ramble. It's been a couple weeks.
It has been, Tommy. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Did you attend the University of Tennessee?
No.
But you did.
No, not the Vols.
Well, which one did you attend?
Chattanooga.
What?
UTC.
Oh, why?
The wrestling.
Really?
Yeah, Vols don't have wrestling.
You were a wrestling. You had Did you have a scholarship?
I went to a couple of different schools, but yes, scholarship. Yep.
What are the other schools that you attended?
I went to Cumberland and La Crosse.
Is that where Cumberland, they make shoes and stuff, right?
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, I think that's Timberland.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
What's Cumberland?
It's a university.
Where?
Tennessee.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things,
other side of the state.
One of the experiences I've had living in the Midwest is I don't know most of the names of the universities. Like the main ones, yeah.
There's a lot.
But I don't understand the other. So people will often say, "Oh, they're going to Concordia, or they're going to what's your daughter going to do next year? Oh, she's over at Bellarmine." And I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
You don't know Bellarmine?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't know Bellarmine. So there are tons of these small universities all over the place.
All over.
All right. You can get to the questions you ask. I just thought that you were...
No, yeah.
Today, the reason I asked that is today, for those of you who can't see Tommy, he's got Tennessee colors going today. He's got like an orange hat, black shirt, kind of orangey yellow.
That's a yellow. Do you know how old this shirt is, by the way, Jeff?
I don't care.
It's old. Okay. This is a Harvest shirt. You thought maybe today, for a moment...
You weren't going to wear your Harvest stuff.
That I wasn't going to wear a Harvest shirt that I own.
So can I tell you something really cool? Mm-hmm. All right. We at Harvest have a new logo, and it wasn't a logo that we just sat in a room and, threw ideas at a wall and someone said, "Oh, that's one." We went through a process of thinking about the history of the church and kinds of things we want to do going forward and all that. And so that it came from that. And so you could actually go online and read about it. It's a cool little, explanation for why it is that it is what it is. But now that we have the logo, we get to make new swag. Mm-hmm. So I'm very excited because just the other day I was asked, do you like this swag design? And I was like, yeah. So soon, very soon we will have Harvest.
I'll be wearing
Bible Chapel swag.
Wearing a new T-shirt on our podcast.
I think so. So
look how much new is happening. New day, new thing, new set.
Yeah, we have a new set on our podcast with very old chairs, which is trendy and cool like I am.
Yeah. I think that.
Yeah.
We were just talking about, because you're from the Pacific Northwest, one of the things that they're super known for is hipsters.
Yes.
And like that's when I think of that, I think of you. I'm like,
Tommy, what is a hipster?
A hipster?
Yeah.
It's someone who's hip. Who's hip.
Describe a hipster to me, though.
Yeah, okay, so flannel, typically.
So if somebody wears flannel, they're either a hipster or they live in Wisconsin.
Yeah, right. Or they're either a hipster or a lumberjack.
Yeah.
Like there's no... I would say that it is someone who has something very niche about themselves.
Okay.
Right? Whether that is their musical taste or even the way in which they digest music.
Man, they have a man bun.
Yeah, man buns are usually some sort of interesting hairstyle.
No, wire rimmed glasses, man bun, some weird facial hair,
jeans,
not normal facial hair.
Yeah, skinny jeans, unhealthy love for coffee.
Yes,
and
get into long conversations about the quality of the beans from different parts of the of the world,
and then the way that you make them. Like, what's better, an AeroPress or a French press? What do you think?
Bought their they buy old furniture so that it looks like their grandma's house, but they do it kind of with a wink and a nod. I'm not a grandma, but I have furniture like her.
Yeah.
So, that's what it is.
This is a hipster chair I'm sitting in right now.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up, because we our chairs are hipster chairs today.
Hipster chairs.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We are not hipsters, though, Tommy.
Johnny's fine.
I don't know who you are.
Who am I? Where are
anyway,
we?
Tommy,
where are we?
You were going to ask another question. I apologize for jumping in.
It's okay.
Early.
Listen, we can talk about whatever you want.
I know.
This is,
the beginning.
it's we can do whatever we want whenever we want. I wanted to ask. There's a lot of stuff that happened since the last time we've talked.
Okay.
Obviously, we've been
Delinquent.
we've been absent for a couple. We were making this was being made. So those of you who are watching can see the new digs. If you're listening, hey, use your eyes. I don't know. We have there's been a lot that's gone on. One of the things that has happened is the Pope died.
Yeah.
And we just found out today there's black smoke, which means
I don't know what it means.
I was hoping someone would jump in. I don't actually know what it means either.
I think
is it a good thing, bad thing?
Well, I think white smoke is the
new Pope. White
smoke is the new Pope.
White smoke is new Pope.
Yeah. Don't they lock themselves into the? I think that's the way it works. Is that you lock yourself in? They lock themselves into the building until they figure it out.
So they will not.
By the way, that would be a great movie, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like what happens while they're picking the new Pope?
Yeah.
Somebody
all the
must have
conversations
done this, right? Like conversations
they let
and stuff
anyone
and the
in?
dealing. And what's probably happening is they're in playing pickleball. That's what I honestly, I think that's what I think. It's a king of the court pickleball context with all these older gentlemen.
Wow.
It'll be very interesting because the last two popes have been very different.
Yeah.
Right? Benedict was a theological kind of titan in very committed to historic doctrine for the Roman Catholic Church, and the most recent pope was not. That was not his thing. He was very much committed to modernizing the church. He had a unique and very important focus on the poor, disenfranchised. So, be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. A lot of politics in that whole thing. As a Protestant and a relatively proud Protestant, I think it's crazy. There, I said it. That I think it's crazy how it is that they select a new pope, and then say that we selected this new pope and things he says now are we can add to Scripture.
Yeah,
because he has that kind of authority. I don't see it.
Apostolic succession.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, it's tough.
But I've spent several years when I was younger thinking and studying about the Roman Catholic Church, and I never thought I'd be in a place where it would come back to be handy, because most of the places I've lived have not had a large Catholic population, but here Roman Catholics very, very, very common.
Very common.
Meet lots of folks who have Roman Catholic background or grew up in the church. It's fascinating to talk to them.
Yeah, it's been really interesting for me, just seeing, obviously, with all of this that's been in the news and has shined some light on some of the rituals that, especially like in the Vatican, the Roman Catholicism, and some of the rituals that they do surrounding all of this that have been really just interesting to see.
Yeah, Vatican City is an interesting place, and by that I mean if you go there, if you know the history about a lot of the money that was raised in order to build that whole building, the St. Peter's Cathedral, or the Basilica, is that what they call it? Basilica. It was all, a lot of that comes from indulgences, which was the source of so much of the arguments during the Middle Ages. Yeah, and really led to the Protestant Reformation. And the idea that you could give the church money, and you could buy people's, your loved ones' way out of purgatory. Yeah. And so when I went there, I just could not get over the opulence and stuff and beauty of it, but thinking to myself, this all came from people's hope that they would be able to get a loved one out of purgatory. Yeah. That's hard to deal with. For me anyway.
Well, sure.
I just think that's just crazy stuff. Yeah. They had a big gift shop there.
Did they?
In the church. Yeah.
Did they?
I remember thinking that was a little bit interesting. Yeah. You could buy all sorts of stuff.
Got to have a gift shop.
Well, of course you do. We don't have one.
Yet.
Oh, yeah.
New shirt's on the way.
We should.
Oh, man. Yeah, lots of stuff happening. We'll talk about more.
Oh, okay.
Not right now, though, because we got to have a conversation.
Right. Speaking of gift shops.
Speaking of opulence, we are going to have a conversation. You are going to have a conversation with a man named Dave Putnam, who, much like the Hobbit story, was there and back again. And do you like that?
I don't know anything. I don't really. Honestly, Dave and I know each other a little bit, but I don't know his story.
You're about to know.
I am.
And you guys are going to jump into his story because we believe everyone has a story. Dave has a story, and you guys are going to get into the conversation right now. What season are we on?
I don't know.
Season 12.
We make them up.
Season 15. Let's go.
I'm sitting here with David Kent Putnam.
I'm ready for it.
Well, you just gave me your full name, and I thought I'd give the full name.
What's your full name?
So people would know that if you ever got caught in some sort of mysterious thing, and like Lee Harvey Oswald did.
As soon as you throw a middle name in there, basically.
Basically. Like, wait a minute. Is this guy actually dangerous?
I haven't killed anyone yet.
Yet. Dave, it is nice to have you. Thank you very much for coming along. I don't know a ton about you, so I'm very excited to chat with you and find out about you. What do you currently do at Harvest? You work at Harvest Bible Chapel.
I do. Yeah, I work
for a few months now.
Yeah, it's 2 months and change. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you do?
Yeah, so I have 2 titles technically because that's fun. Central technical director, so production, so assisting worship, Sunday mornings, events, all that stuff.
So if you have a problem with the volume, this is your guy.
Yeah, this is uncomfortable for me to sit on this side of a lens or even a microphone. Like I do the fader thing.
All right.
But we're here. And then a second role is they're calling it Central Process Director. Can try to come alongside ministries and events and just help planning and cohesion and all that stuff.
I love it.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
You're good.
I'm interested because you have everything to do with production and everything. So I'm really interested in how it is that you got involved in that. But we're going to find that out. Are you from Chicagoland?
I am. I was born and raised McHenry County. So
when people answer, I was born and raised in McHenry County, is because they don't want to give me the town because I won't know.
It's McHenry proper for me. But
the town?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been to McHenry proper
on the bike. Yeah.
I have rode my bike up to McHenry.
Yeah. That path goes.
And I stopped at a gas station and thought I would die.
There's some spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody told me it's nicer than that gas station, so I'm glad to hear that. I don't know. I can't remember, but it was
not going back.
It wasn't the most safest place.
Yeah.
But that's fantastic.
Yeah. So born in McHenry, raised in this area all through my childhood.
How big is the town of McHenry?
Oh boy, I think they're about 30,000 now.
Okay.
So it's gotten bigger.
And you lived there all the way through your high school years and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
go ahead.
You're a member of a family that has how many kids involved?
The one I grew up with?
Sure.
Yeah. So 3 sisters and then myself, so 4 kids.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you the youngest?
I am not. Second from youngest.
So girl, boy, girl.
Yeah. Yeah, and my youngest sister is 7 years my junior, so there was a big gap there.
So for a good chunk of your life, you were like me. I had two older sisters and then me.
Nice.
Yeah.
So favorite on all regards then for you?
Yeah. Well, I don't think so. Okay. I had a special relationship with my mother that was just great, and I would complain to my father, being like, I don't know how to deal with all of the estrogen in this house.
Yeah, it's a thing.
And it is a thing for us boys who are stuck in houses with girls. You can't get into the bathroom ever. There's hair everywhere.
Yep.
It's ugh.
It teaches you to strategize.
It
so we had one shower growing up, so that was a real thing.
Oh, yeah. Although I imagine your wife now is like, oh, I'm so thankful you understand how to deal with all that.
And the Lord gave us 3 daughters. So I am right back where I started.
Well, I want to get to your 3 daughters, but was your family a church-going family?
We were, yeah. So you'll actually enjoy this. We grew up, like I said, in McHenry area, but we went to church at Fox Lake Baptist Church in Ingleside.
Fox Lake
Baptist, yeah.
Yeah, I think I know where that is.
My first pastor there was a guy named Mike Van Landingham.
Really?
And so I know him.
So for those of you, Mike preached a sermon for us a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
As of our sitting here, and he also is one of our elders of our church. Worked at Harvest for a few years too.
Yeah.
So he's been around for quite a while. Was at Moody for a lot of years, and his story is really interesting because he was in pastoral ministry for just a short period of time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and just realized this is not my cup of tea. But apparently, you crossed over with that.
Yeah, he was the first pastor I ever asked like a direct question to in the lobby.
Wow.
And I remember he was preaching on Tower of Babel, and I was like 5 or 6 and was just fascinated on, like, we've built tall buildings. Why is God not mad at us? So I was like, how tall did they build it, right? Mm-hmm. So as a kid, that was a big question. And my parents told me to wait in line and talk to Pastor Mike.
I love it.
And he took me to his office, busted open a bunch of books because this is before the internet. And he spent time with me and actually tried to answer the question.
That's great.
But he's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
I like that.
So you grew up in that, were you?
Yep, Baptist church. So recovering Baptist there. My dad was an elder of the church for a long time. We were involved with Awana ministry there. My dad was the commander of that too, so that was pretty cool.
The what?
The commander of Awana. It's like a really cool
commander. Listen, I didn't grow up in the evangelical church,
bubble.
So I don't. Awana is a thing that I didn't. My wife, she did grow up, and so she grew up going to Awana. And is Cubbies a thing in Awana?
It is.
Okay, so
that's when you're real little.
Yeah, so she grew up doing Awana and stuff, and so we still do it here, and because Chicagoland it's apparently where it's from,
headquartered. Yeah,
yeah. So we still do it at our church. It's great ministry and all of that kind of stuff. But when people mention, I started going to Awana, all I know is they draw a circle on a floor
with something
with
Velcro or tape,
tape or something, and then they have games where you dive into the middle, or used to dive into the middle and break each other's heads open to try to grab
Awana
stuff.
Olympics, all of that. It was great. Awana was awesome. Like all of my scripture memory was like foundational
from Awana.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
older sisters dragged you along.
Yeah. We did the whole program, and then again, my dad was leading it, so we started serving there as soon as we aged out.
Okay,
so we were involved with Awana for a long, long time.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, it's a good program.
Were you like an artist or a sportsman or something growing up?
I played basketball, but our entire family was very musical.
Really?
Yep. My dad played in band when he was growing up, and then all of us started on piano when we were like 5. Took some like classical piano for like 10 years.
So you could play right now?
I could.
Why don't you play more piano?
They won't let me because I'm
when you say
good at sound.
That's you.
Worship team. I play at home. I just don't play here.
What kind of piano do you play?
I have a baby grand at home. Oh, what, like music style?
Yeah.
I'm a big music movie guy. So Hans Zimmer, John Williams, all the depressing themes. My kids complain often.
Really? So if you go home, is this something that you do now? If we walk by your house late at night, which by the way, we're all going to do.
Yeah, that's great.
You're sitting at the piano playing.
Not every night, but yeah, there's several times.
What's the best piece that you play? Geez. And how many of them are related to Star Wars?
Very few to Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Gladiator themes. Again, anything Hans Zimmer. You can.
Okay.
He's written everything.
Didn't Hans Zimmer do?
He did Man of Steel. He did.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings. Oh no, Lord of the Rings was Howard Shore. Anyway, all the depressing music themes.
Okay.
I do like Lord of the Rings music too, since we already brought up.
Yeah.
There and back again.
Hobbit. Okay.
Yeah. So the music thing actually continued all throughout for me and into high school. So much so that my parents, when I was in middle school, opened up a music store in McHenry.
What was it called?
When they opened it, it was The Musician's Staff. Can't answer the phone like that. It's just too many words.
Yeah.
Things went south for that in my high school years, and they were going to close it down. And actually, my junior year of high school, I took the business over and then moved it, rebranded it.
Your junior year of high school. Mm-hmm. You decided to become the manager.
Yep. Yeah. So my dad stepped out.
What did you do differently did it turn around at all?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it did great. I mean, I ran that for 13 years. I sold it in 2019.
What did you do?
Oh, a lot of things. At that point, it was, heading into the first housing crash. So stepped away into a lot of like used equipment, buying it, fixing it up, turning it over, leaned way more into music lessons and then rental programs to schools. Because again, people weren't buying stuff at full value anymore.
Right.
So the rental thing became really strong. So I just played those 3 markets and it took off.
So did you do the teaching or did you just
I did do some, yeah. Mostly piano or low brass, trombone.
Trombone.
I know. Or tuba.
Do you think you can play piano and trombone at the same time?
No.
Dude, you got to try. No, that's my wife. She played trumpet for a little while.
Yeah. You could do trumpet.
And think she had
a little bit.
piano lessons. Well, my parents either didn't love me or loved me a lot because they didn't make me take any music stuff, which I'm kind of sad about now because, it's a skill that, would be really kind of cool to be able to sit down and play or that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Do you have a creative outlet outside of that then?
Well, you know what? Like the stuff
writing,
that I do, like words and stuff like that, it tends to be quite creative.
Yeah, for sure.
For me. But like I'm not a painter or a poet or things like that. I enjoy stories and mostly oratory though.
Yeah.
So I've always enjoyed the performing arts. So if I like plays. I always found, for some reason, I found Shakespeare to be fascinating.
Wow.
Most of the people I knew in high school hated it, but I was like, this guy's amazing. And I remember just thinking I devour that kind of stuff, whereas a lot of the other stuff I just didn't take. But yeah, if you asked me to like write it, well, no, I have written a play or two. So
really,
yeah, they're no good.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
They're
church.
Enough.
They're church plays.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, they're fun. Right. And I've acted in several different stuff. So I always find that probably more of my creative outlet.
Yeah.
But my dad was a musician.
Okay.
Played clarinet. And my son, Ethan, he is just naturally capable with music. He loves it. And I was always pushing him into sports because that's what I did. Mm-hmm. But he's kind of, he loves sports, but he's kind of taken to music more.
Yeah.
Which I never saw coming, man.
It's working out well for us.
Yeah.
He's
well,
great.
yeah, no, he loves it. I had nothing to do with it. Most of the abilities my kids have, both sports wise and musically, are my sister. Jeez, my wife. My wife, whose sister, my sister-in-law, my wife's sister, is a like world-class opera star.
Wow.
Yeah. Big time.
That's cool.
Yeah. Heidi Grant Murphy. You can Google her.
That's really exciting.
Yeah, I know. Really cool.
I just asked that because I feel like we were created by a creative.
Yeah.
And I think everyone has an expression of that. Just got to find how it hits.
Yeah. I like satire.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that creative?
Can be.
No, some people hate it. It's okay.
A lot of arts. Some people hate.
I was going to say, that's why, it's good art. So you grew up in a family, you played a little basketball.
Yeah.
Were you any good?
I was decent. Yeah. I was like a shorter center, but I had enough mass on me that I could
move people around.
Yeah, that's important.
But never, you didn't travel team or anything like that?
No, I kept it pretty simple. I was running a business too towards the end there, so staying local. And
was running, like what, how did you, what drove you to pick up a business in your junior year of high school? That's not a common thing.
Yeah, you're gonna love the next word. Homeschooled.
Nice.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
All right.
So grew up homeschooled.
Explains a lot, dude.
I know. It's all coming together. Unpacking the layers. Obviously my love for music was there. I had known the business. It had gotten bad enough that it was going to start costing my parents and their house and our family. So part of it was like hey, I can turn this around. I can get us out of this.
Well, what made you think that though?
I don't know. That's the
It's just this like youthful hubris thinking, you know what, how hard could it be?
Yeah. I don't know. It was fun. I loved it. I wasn't scared about that at all. I remember sitting down with the landlord at 17 or whatever and being like, I can't legally sign this contract, but can you trust me for 2 years?
Yeah.
And he did it.
But he was cool with it. He was like, yeah,
He
let's
was nervous,
go.
but he was like,
I mean, what else is he going to do?
yep, better than finding new tenants at that point.
Right.
But
So did it grow regularly over those years?
yeah, I probably plateaued a bit. So I was working there. I got married to my wonderful wife, Allie, in 2010. So only 3 or 4 years.
What was the name of the store?
When I took it over,
Yeah.
I named it Pearl Street Music. So
Okay.
it's around the corner of Green and Pearl Street, downtown McHenry. It's still there.
Okay.
But when we got married, we decided to find a new church home for her and I, which is how we landed Harvest Crystal Lake together. Okay. And then through that and the business and wanting to start a family, I actually started part-time at Harvest Crystal Lake just for health insurance, because at that time, when you're running a business, health insurance costs are brutal.
Yeah.
So started working at the church. Had always served in the church growing up, in all sorts of facets, music or audio or video or whatever. And where's I going with this?
Well, I'm interested in give me one of your favorite things about owning that store. Like, are there any experiences that you had that you look back on now and think, oh, I kind of miss that, or something that happened that you remember? So when you look back and you think about owning Pearl Street Music, you're like, oh man, that was a funny thing that took place. Or
no, it was great. I think it helped me develop, and had the ability to express my creative, like how we're displaying things, how we're going, my business antics of what would work, the psychology behind it. I really do like people. So when you have musicians walking in, you get an eclectic group of weirdos every day that you love some and don't others. And then teaching, just seeing anyone develop and grow is just...
Do you remember the first person who walked in while you were...
I don't.
Or is that too... I'm not the individual. I just...
No, I mean, I can picture certain people that were like repeats that you're like, oh...
Here you come.
Here he is. Yep. Not saying names here, but...
How often do people come to a music shop? Is that... I mean, there'd be people who show up pretty regularly.
I mean, if you're taking lessons, you're coming weekly anyway.
Yeah.
And they're hanging out for a long time. Then it just depends. You get your hobbyists that are just there tinkering every day that they have time, if they're walking by after school or whatever. And then just,
So you could buy a guitar at your store?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you carry like really high-end ones?
No, it's McHenry. We covered this already.
Okay.
No. At that point, it was just a mix. Again, mostly used stuff was the best for our business, but we carry a couple of newer lines. We're mostly starters.
Did you know how to fix like any of this stuff, or did you
kind of learned it as I went? Read books, broke a few things myself, but I could fix every band instrument that was out there, within reason, obviously. But that was another good moneymaker when you get to tinker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, if you gave me a horn that was broken, I wouldn't even know.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and you had YouTube.
Yeah. It was early then, so you're not finding like what you can now.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of books and studies, and I took a few college courses just not for repairs, but just to learn businessy things I wanted to shore up on.
Okay.
Marketing, web development.
And you did that through like the community college up there, McHenry.
Yep. Yeah, just whatever sounded interesting to me that would apply.
Did you plan? When you came out of high school though?
Yeah.
Were you thinking at some point that you might? Maybe I'll go to college or something like that.
I had never had to,
because everyone around here is really, really into college, and I say that as a kind of an international individual, because there is an I think it's okay for me to say this. I don't mean it as negatively it's going to sound, but there is an American obsession with a 4-year university degree.
For sure.
And some of the stuff that they make you in a liberal arts degree study is candidly useless.
Yeah.
And I mean that, dude, I went all the way. Okay? I have a doctorate. So like I drank the Kool-Aid, went all the way through. But some of it, like my kids have been in college, and some of it I'm like, this is nonsensical, especially as the world has modernized. So much these days of what's going on in college is going to be changed by AI.
Yeah.
Right. The idea that you would memorize certain pieces of dates and things is meaningless.
Unnecessary.
Now, because you can access it all the time in front of you anytime, and will become increasingly easy to do, because you're going to have, right now we have to type it in. There'll be a point at which where you're voice recognition with glasses or whatever, you'll be able to just ask the question you want to Grok or whatever the AI like, and it will give you answers for that.
Yeah.
So anyway, but because I know that this is the American sort of thing,
Yeah.
was it not something that your family was saying, hey, you got to go to college?
Yeah, they did not push it on us at all. So my 2 older sisters did go. I did not. And then my youngest ended up going. So I guess I'm the only one who didn't go.
Did
for a
you
degree.
feel like you were doing something wrong?
No, not at all. No, I was very okay with it. I think the way I learned was always very hands-on or figure it out. And a classroom setting was just never enjoyed it, never had a love for it. I wasn't bad at it. Just, I was not going to continue on that as a path to learning for me.
Yeah.
I was going to ingest the way I.
But then you did take some classes to try to, like you said, shore up things that were a felt need at the time.
Yeah.
So, man, I don't know. It'd be great to know how to market better.
Yeah. I mean, there's value in that. I think I knew, again, YouTube University is probably a lot stronger now.
Yeah.
But back then that seemed to make just a lot of sense. And it was, again, I wasn't taking all the extra things that I didn't need to take or didn't feel purposeful at that point.
Right.
So yeah, I see that.
Okay. All right. Have you ever looked back now though and thought, I mean, how old are you now? 30?
36.
36? Have you looked back and thought, oh, I wish I would have had a bachelor's degree?
There's moments, especially when you're, either between jobs or looking where, certain companies, certain employers really just want that box checked.
It is interesting that they do want the box checked. There's a commercial that's out these days from I think it's Indeed.com, and it's basically a girl sitting across from a recruiter, and the recruiter's like, "So where'd you go to college?" And she said, "Well, is that necessary? Did I need to?" And he said, "Yeah, you just need to have gone somewhere."
Yep.
And she ended up saying, "Well, what did you study?" And he said, "Dance." And they're doing something for business, and the whole idea behind it is, okay, sometimes
just doing it to do it
it's just the tick of the box, right? In some cases, and I do think that drives a lot of the feeling that people have to go to college, is that you need to get this bachelor's degree so that you can tick the box on all of the applications.
It is one less barrier in that situation for a lot of people.
Right.
Is it necessary? No, but it is helpful.
Right. Well,
so I don't regret it, to answer the question.
Yeah.
But I've had moments where I was like,
would have
been
been
that little barrier was not there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Well, dude, you got a printer.
Yep.
You just print one of those. Just print one of those off. Like I said, there's so many of these colleges. Nobody knows. Give me a break.
Yeah, there's a little thing called morality. That I try to uphold.
Dude, if you want me to, I can open my own college right now. I'll give you a degree.
Now we're talking.
Honorary. Okay, so you end up being in this business just sort of by happenstance. Yeah. By that I mean like Providence. But you are in this business for 13 years.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is something that's going to be what you're doing the rest of your days?
I'd say somewhere between year 7 and 10, I was like, oh, this is great. We have a good trajectory. It's supporting my family. I'm still enjoying it. And then somewhere in there, it just flipped where I was like, this is not the thing I want to keep doing forever. I enjoyed a lot of it, but just the cyclical nature of a retail operation that size, of just turning over staff and retraining, and you're constantly in a 3-year cycle.
That would be the hard part.
So after I did that 3 or 4 times, I was like, kind of not wanting to.
Now, if you didn't have to work with other people, would you have felt that way?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I always wonder about that.
Yeah.
In ministry,
the
number one reason why people get out of ministry is the fellow workers.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to me. So when I've spent time with some missions groups, that's the issue they deal with more than anything else. People go out on the mission field and they work together in close proximity to a group of others, but it's the interpersonal relationships in that setting that cause them the most difficulty. And so then they leave the ministry because of the relationships. And I don't think that's unique just to ministry. I think that's one of the biggest challenges most people have.
But I think with ministry, you are adding an extra layer of like our faith and our like depth of trust, that when that gets broken, we're all still sinful.
Right.
So like
it hurts more.
It hurts more.
Yeah.
So I think that's why ministry sees it more frequently.
Right.
Is when you leave, it's usually wound.
But you would have had to work. I imagine you would have been working with like high school kids and others who were coming in, and
teachers are usually obviously adult age, but you have a lot of high schoolers around the counter, and you're just turning and burning employees and training. And
what did you learn about high school students
Well, they've already changed since then.
You didn't know.
I mean, I was a high schooler hiring high schoolers, but they're incredibly irresponsible at like dependency of time, and honesty. I mean, all those things.
Honesty, exactly. I'm sick.
Yeah. Oh, there's another $20 short in the register.
Yeah, great.
On your shift.
Seems to happen every time that you come in.
Thursday evenings, brother.
That would have been hard, though. I mean, did you have to fire people?
I did, yeah. Several over the years, for lots of different reasons.
Yeah. Didn't find that hard?
No, not when you know. I mean, I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think like you're protecting a culture and a plan and a business, and you have to know the lines on that.
Yeah.
Like even that kid that like stole that 20, like we talked about it, he confessed, and I gave him another shot.
Yeah.
And then when it happened again, I was like,
okay,
all right,
this is a pattern that needs to not continue. Yeah. It's just not something that a lot of 22-year-olds or 23-year-olds probably have the courage to do.
Yeah. The Spar, should I say it? The hardest firing
was Brian Spar.
No.
Oh.
It was my mother.
You fired your own mother?
I fired my mother. It's been said. I love my mom. Mom, if you're listening, I love you. Yeah, it was just he's not going to recover from that one. Yeah, it was just it was time. It had been a couple of years of just identity things and too much like family tension there, and I was like, I need her to be my mom again, not an employee. And yeah, that one didn't go.
Is that how you approached it?
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of conversations over a long period of time, and then a lack of conversations for a year, and now everyone's in good standing. But that's
I imagine if you fire your mom, it might stick for a bit.
It stuck for a bit.
Okay.
But I think she loves me still. So
I'm sure she does.
The grandkids helped.
Yeah, that's right. Are we okay now?
Are we good now? Hold the baby.
You decided though to leave the. By the way, if you guys see Dave around the place, you just need to end up just steer clear of him, right? There's a guy who fires his own mother.
Yeah.
That feels like a joke at some point, right?
It's going to be the name
He's the kind of guy who would fire his own mother.
Yeah. How I Fired My Mother and Other Life Lessons by Dave Putnam. It's going to be it's
good
little 10-lesson book.
So when it was time to stop doing it, you sold the business. What did you have plans to? What did you want to do?
Yeah. Well, at that point, I was already working for Harvest full time.
Okay.
Up here in Chicago. When a job opened up in one of the church plants after the fellowship kind of disbanded a bit, down in North Indianapolis. Yeah. We actually took that position and moved down there. And so that was 2017. So I still did business too. So I was coming up here every other weekend and had management running the place at that point, but still checking in. And I did that for a couple of years. So after 2 years of driving back and forth, trying to run a business, I was like, this is zero fun.
And did you want to be in ministry?
Yeah, I fell in love with it. I mean, I'd always, like I said,
what about it?
I love all of it, especially with, so my role in production is one of my favorites. And I think that's the musician in me and my support of what worship ministry should be. When I look at production, I don't actually think sound, lights, and all the other stuff. I think I'm like the first wave of defense. It makes me sound really cool, to distraction of our pastors on stage. If I have a worship leader up there that's able to get up there and just be confident and comfortable and knows I've got everything in that room covered, they're going to shepherd and lead and feel and connect in a way that they'll just lose if they see that I don't have it or I'm not protecting that. Same for my pastors. And so I always try to take an approach with production of like we are a team. We're a worship ministry, and our job as soon as 9 a.m. hits is like nothing, if I can control it, will break the barrier between like them, the Lord, and leading if I have anything to say about it.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that supportive role. I love seeing what that can do. I love seeing what the Lord does in a room filled with hearts to worship.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. And then people, I like people.
So reflect on worship ministry as a whole these days. Do you ever get concerned about it? There's a lot of people who are concerned, not about Harvest, but about the way the worship world works. Are you one of those people?
I am. I think, especially with the kind of the mega church movement, which has allowed for house production to exist as well. But we've seen, in my opinion, an idolization of like me as a musician or a worshiper or a traveling musician or whatever, rather than a worship pastor. And to me, that's what scares me. So when I see like just a faithful worship leader who's there every week at his church, he knows his people, he's praying over his people, I can back that guy up all day long and know that his heart's at least in a good direction versus someone popping in and out or traveling, or it's just it's a great skill. I love that they get to do that. But to me, like the worship ministry part is still shepherding your people in your church.
Yeah.
And that thing's attacking.
Well, it's an interesting thing. It's very, I mean, to me, it runs parallel to the preaching pastor situation, which is in some weird way in the United States, you're able to become, fame and money somehow have gotten to be a part of this. There have been very few cultures throughout the history of the world where that's the case for a pastor. Not so much with music, though. Yeah, music, that has been a thing. It's always been a pathway to get that, and so there's this. It's a challenge, I think, for a lot of musicians who are really excellent at their craft. Totally. You know, they're great songwriters or they're great singers or whatever. It's difficult to set aside. Do you know what I mean? Because you can get such great attention. Yeah. You're such a good singer, or you're such a good songwriter, or whatever it is. And it's difficult to set the kind of stuff aside and try to, realize that I'm not here to make necessarily the money off of it or get the fame.
Am I called to do this?
Right.
Or am I doing this for a
right? And outcome? So that gets blurred, especially when you get the companies involved in it. Do you know what I mean? Like you get the companies in Nashville and others who are, because they're an interest in it. Of course, they'll say is, we want to help people worship. Yep. But actually, at the end of the day, the bottom, your company exists to make money. Off of this sort of thing. So it's a real challenge. And so it's been interesting for me to be at Harvest, and in other places before, but Harvest and know people who are involved in that industry and see that struggle inside of them. Yeah.
And I don't think it's total like black and white.
No.
But I think the temptation or the draw can get really
always
really quick. Yeah.
Always. Yeah. Yeah, and it's like I said, similar for somebody in the United States who is a gifted public communicator, because people tend to want to take you and make you into a product. Yeah, do you know what I mean? They see the potential of saying like, "Oh my gosh, we could sell this stuff if your name's attached to it."
And the hard part with all of that is it's also sold as you can get the word out to more people,
right? And we'll make a little bit of money on the side. Yep. And so it can be a bit of a draw, and I actually think this is this has been one of the challenges for Harvest in particular in its history. This has been a challenge that has, it's reared its head. And so Well, I'm glad though that you're here, somebody who's had that experience and is able to kind of reflect on it with a little bit of, both honesty and maturity.
Hopefully.
Right?
Yeah. Because I could also just get terrified of it happening again and just be oversensitive to it. So there's a bit of discretion and discernment, I guess. Discernment, not discretion, needed in that.
Yeah, I just always think about the people who are coming out of like college and stuff, and most young people that I know that really love music, they have a dream of being on a stage and performing, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's great. It's just, it's helpful sometimes to have somebody who's around and saying, so the church matters, and actually you're here for the edification of those people and not the attention that they're going to pay to you type stuff.
Absolutely.
It can be really helpful.
Yeah.
All right. What's your very favorite thing about working at Harvest now?
Ooh, that's a great question.
The pastor's pretty cool.
Said again, the pastor?
He's kind of a hipster dude.
Oh, Tommy?
No, the teaching guy.
Oh, Dr. Bucknam.
Yeah.
He's good. He's a good guy. Yeah. Your teaching is great, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
We do love it and enjoy it. Do I have to say that, or is?
Well, I mean, if you want to be in the podcast,
Okay. It's the people. I mean, even when we came back and moved back to Illinois, I think the one church that we said we weren't going to go back to initially was Harvest, and then when you got back in your community and got back in that room, I was like, it's these people, it's my church family, it's my community, and I wouldn't trade it. My head wanted to at one point, but my heart and soul knew.
So why? People say that to me from time to time, and I'm always wondering why. So, I mean, you were here for some of the difficult days of Harvest. Sure. Is that why?
Oh, I'm sure that played a role in it. Honestly, probably pride was involved in there too. Like you come back after I was working for the church. So when we left, now I'm going right back to, or could be perceived as, right? My wife's really good about reminding me that that's never a reason to do anything, that the Lord's way bigger than that. So let's go back where we're called and where it's good and where we trust him with our kids. And
Yeah.
so yeah, it's the people, it's the community,
Oh, that's good.
but we love the church.
How old is your oldest daughter?
Yeah. My oldest daughter is Ella. She's 12.
Okay. And then?
Amelia, 10.
Okay.
Don't make me mess this up. Clara, who's 7. So 12, 10, 7.
Those are beautiful names, by the way.
Thank you.
Ella, Amelia, and Clara.
Mm-hmm. And then
She's 7. What's the best thing about having all girls?
they're sweet.
Yeah, dude, you must be covered in kisses.
They give me a hard time because I give them a hard time, but they still love me a lot.
Yeah.
But those girls are ready for the world, and they're also they have all my wife's gentleness and care for others that I just don't bleed out.
Yeah.
What my wife and my girls do. You can ask anyone. They serve like more than I do. They're incredible.
Oh, that's great.
We also foster care.
Oh, wow.
So we, since Christmas time, had 2 more girls in the house.
Wow.
Two
Dude, what are you talking about? You got 6 women in your house.
Yeah, it's a small busload at this point.
Dude, I feel like I need to give you a beer or something right now.
Just a nap. Just a nap.
How old are foster girls?
2 and 4.
Dude, okay.
It's got the whole gambit.
You do?
Yeah, it's great.
Do your daughters help play? So it's 12-year-old, right? Do they help play mom?
Yeah, our 10-year-old Amelia she's done more foster parenting than I think I've done for these 2 so far. It's incredible. She loves it. But every time we get ready to go, like, where's the bag? And she's like, it's already got diapers, 3 changes of clothes in the box.
Why did you get involved in foster parenting?
My wife has always had a passion for raising kids, for helping others. And all the time that I was in ministry, we just always had a volatile schedule and it was rough. And we just never really leaned into her ministry on that outside of our kids. So once our youngest was like 4 or 5, we knew, hey, like our capacity to take in some youngers is increasing. And so we got licensed. And
how hard is it to say goodbye?
Oh, it's awful. It depends how long they're there. You're doing. Yeah, we had a newborn last year. He was in the NICU in Rockford, and so we spent 2 weeks rocking this newborn baby. Brought him home with us. Had him for 6 months, 7 months, and then they found a half brother that was also in the system, and so they're like, oh, we're gonna join them together, and just handing over mentally holding a baby in the hospital and taking it home.
Yes,
everything in your body's like,
this
mine.
This is ours.
This is mine.
Yeah.
So that was really, really hard. We still hear from that family once in a while though, which is sweet.
Yeah.
So he just turned 1 a little while ago.
What a emotional gamut though to run through a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
To feel.
Yeah. People often ask I think the worst thing people say to us when they hear this is I could never. I would love the kid too much. We're like, yeah, we're really good at this because we don't love children.
Yeah, exactly.
You just know what you're doing, right? You know that there's a mission behind it, and that even in that pain, the Lord's going to honor it, and you do what you can.
Yeah. Is it usually the younger ones that you guys end up fostering?
We have decided we're not going to mess up our birth order.
Oh, okay.
Unless a crazy story came up. So we're pretty much every year Clara gets older, we'll accept
a little bit older.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
That's just something someone told us.
Are your daughters all involved in music?
No. They all tinker and play with the guitars and piano and stuff in the house. My 7-year-old's been begging me to teach her piano, and I just haven't been consistent. So thanks for the reminder on that one.
Well, dude.
No, I'll get on it.
I'll get on it.
I know. It's right there. No, my oldest is into volleyball.
Oh, wow.
She's super tall. She's almost as tall as my wife now, which is weird.
How tall is your wife?
5'8".
Okay, because you're a tall dude.
Yeah.
And so you're growing some.
She'll get close to 6 foot, I think.
Oh wow, that's fantastic. So are you a volleyball parent now?
As of last year, yeah, I started.
You travel around everywhere, and
it's tame right now. She's still only 12, so we're not going crazy.
Okay,
but I'm sure the day is coming.
Okay, but if she ends up being that height, 6 feet and stuff, she might end up
one
being
day at a time.
She might end up being a coveted player by some. Are you gonna travel to St. Louis and Dallas?
I will do it.
And Los Angeles?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, man.
She's practicing too. She's working for it. It's great. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, there's so much. It'd be so different than when I was a kid. When I was a kid, you just played locally and whatever you were. But now they got all these travel teams all over the place, and you're like, whoa.
It's insane.
You can end up in like every weekend in some other spot.
That would hurt my job a bit.
Well, yeah, you were. You were. The good news is that they broadcast a lot of it.
That's true.
These days, it's easy to broadcast stuff. So
that's true.
All right, listen. I'm gonna do a lightning round now.
Oh, okay.
With you for that. Because I want to know.
All right.
Your favorite band.
Oh boy. I don't think I have one. I literally listen to orchestral music all day long. If someone starts singing, I'm out.
Favorite orchestral.
Hans Zimmer. I already said that name before. That's coming right back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Composer. Favorite song?
I don't know. Final Ascent.
If I get in your car right now, you're going to have orchestra music on.
Yes.
100%. On the way home.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Do you have a favorite podcast?
I don't. I shop around a bit. Oh, this one. It's second time.
Said nobody ever.
Volleyball hit right there.
All right. Can you play volleyball?
I'm rooting. I can hit a volleyball. I don't.
Did your wife play volleyball?
No. She was she sings at Crystal Lake now. She was a vocalist in like choir and all that at school. But not sporty. Not through high school at least.
All right. Do you still play basketball?
Oh, I need to get back to it, clearly.
Do you care about the NBA playoffs?
I don't watch a lot of sports. I'm a really boring guy. You're realizing this right now.
All right. In the evening, what are you looking forward to doing tonight?
Get home, cook some dinner, chill with the family.
What's the favorite dinner?
Oh, if a favorite dinner? I mean, I like a good steak. I have a thing for pizza. I love pizza.
Best pizza in Chicagoland?
Ooh, I really do like Giorgio's Pizza in downtown Crystal Lake.
There's a Giorgio's down in South Barrington area. Yeah. It's very good.
It is very good.
Yeah. Deep dish or the thin crust?
I can do either, but deep dish if I'm going for the luxury.
All right. If you're buying pizza and I'm coming to your house, what's on it?
Oh, you're going to have to try the spinach and garlic, and your brain says no to that. I know. Everyone thinks it's crazy. It's amazing. It's an amazing pizza.
I'm not. You're pointing at Brian Spar, who's sitting in the room here. I'm going to tell you right now, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Brian, no.
But then the good news is I'll eat any pizza with meat. So pepperoni, sausages. Just, all right. If I'm not getting, if I'm going weird, it's a pizza place I trust.
But Giorgio's is the best pizza place in Crystal Lake for you.
Oh, for sure in Crystal Lake. Yeah. Okay. I'd put it up in Chicago.
All right. But that's what do you miss about Indianapolis?
Traffic, taxes.
Okay.
A lot of good things. No,
it was lack of traffic.
Yeah.
And lack of taxes.
I miss roundabouts so much. I hated them for the first 3 months, and then they're incredible.
If you live anywhere outside the United States, you immediately start to understand the value of the roundabout, and you think to yourself, this should have been done a long time ago.
No, we loved Indianapolis.
The four-way stop is probably the dumbest thing. No one ever knows. Like, seriously, if you go and you take the test, they're like, who's going first? Yeah. Whoever makes eye contact and starts moving is the answer to that question. But
just adds to our road rage.
It does. Then you're done. You don't know. You're just like, I hope I don't go first. Or
we loved Indy. Indy had good food too on the north side. But
all right, it's very flat.
It is very flat. Yeah. Not good for the biking.
No. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for spending time. I feel like I've learned an awful lot about you.
Yeah.
God bless you as you serve here. It's awesome to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
Excited to be here.
Well, awesome. The next time we talk, someone else will, I don't know. I don't even plan the guests.
I know. It was stressing me out. I'm like, what are we
talking
I show
about?
Up.
I show up and it
they just throw us in a room with you.
Well, they do. And that's part of the design. So
that's good.
I can get to know.
Anyway. I like it.
Well, it's great to see you. God bless the rest of you. We'll talk to you next time.